Today's episode is a short one, but we're tackling an important part of city management, death care. Since the latest patch, it's become more challenging. What I initially thought was improving has actually turned into a growing issue across the city. And from what I hear, there is no bug. This is just how it works now, so it's time to rethink our strategy. We'll start by assigning services to districts, then find a right spot for a new crematorium. The terrain isn't the easiest to work with in this episode, but as always, we'll be balancing the mechanics of the game and ensure that we beautify the build. Welcome to Sunny Isle. Hi everyone, I'm Scunny and today we're playing Cities Skylines 2. I'm back at the main town trying to manage the death care situation. In the last episode I thought it was decreasing, but in fact it was just increasing over time. So I've had a look at the available cemeteries in the area. So we've got one on Mont Clementine, just this little French one. And I've started setting up districts. So we've got operating districts for this. Everything that is on this side of the river, so going all the way down to the South Bay Leaside development, and basically just going anywhere that doesn't go over these bridges here. And then on the other side we have another crematorium, which I think is down by the station right here. And similarly I've selected all the areas that are on the other side of the river. And anywhere that is not covered by these two crematoriums will be covered by the existing cemetery and by the larger crematorium. And these I've not set a district up, so they can help alleviate any of the issues in the main town when the smaller crematoriums become overburdened, but they can also carry out collections in the larger area. Over by Clipstrand, we have a crematorium. Again, another one of these small French ones. And I've set the operating districts up in a similar fashion, just covering the local area. And we might even extend it up to the coal power plant, because that is a little bit far away from the main town. Okay, I'm having a look for a good place to place a new crematorium. And we do have this hillside here, which I've not really built on because of the difficult terrain. We got this little road that kind of comes along the front of the coast here through South Bay and then connects up to the Civic Water and pretty much heads straight into Mont Clementine. So it's got pretty good connections through here, and we've got a little bit of scrubland. We've got the rear of the school, which we don't want to touch. This is their recreational area, but we do have a little bit of space at the back of this road here, or maybe even on this turn. Topography lines are quite wide apart. Okay, so I'm going to place this down and then add the roads afterwards, and I'm going to keep it a fair distance away from the road so that when the ground levels itself, there's ample space for a nice gradual slope. And you can see this corner here is probably as steep as I'd like it to go. We could have a look at upgrading this section of road using a retaining wall. Yeah, it looks okay. And if we come through with the brush, grab this height here and just bring it out a little bit, and we can soften this up. And then we'll use the slope terrain tool. We'll grab the height at the top of the retaining wall. We'll also reduce the brush size. We'll come from the bottom of the road and then we'll just gradually bring this up here. And we'll do something similar on this side. And then using the soften terrain tool, we can just tidy up the area just a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit pointy, but I think it looks okay. Does the job. Okay, let's have a look at connecting this up with a road. So we've got a couple of entrances on this asset. There's one on the bottom side here and then another one on the right side here. And I think we could just use one of our little alley roads, since this is not going to be a very busy thoroughfare, a driveway for the asset itself. Starting with a little bit of flat ground, let's just extend that out here so we've got a little bit of room to work with. And that looks good to me. A nice simple driveway. The slope is a little bit steep, but for a short distance it looks fine, and the view as you go up is great. I really like that angle as you come in on the crematorium. And here we've got our new crematorium on the hill. I went ahead and added some of the upgrades, including the refrigeration expansion, which provides an extra 25 storage. And I also added a hearse garage onto the side here so that we get a few extra hearses, and as well as the additional incinerator so that the processing speed is also increased. I didn't go too crazy with the details. I added just a few little rocks here to frame the road, the driveway going up to the building itself, and I think it just looks really nice. This little sign here about information, maybe it's the opening hours, and a couple of lights. Looks quite nice at night. And I managed to bring this road around here. It's causing a little bit of chaos because it's also sharing the invisible road that comes with the asset itself, so I'm not sure whether we might be able to come in and edit the invisible roads. Over here I sneaked in a little car park, which is proving to be super popular. I haven't really been playing around with any of the parking fees in my city so far. I think it's something that we could have a look at in the future, maybe on a live stream. But I wanted to bring this road around here, Park Lane, because we do have a fair amount of land on the side of the hill that we may want to develop in the future, and I didn't want to completely close it off. And I think this is a really good spot for the access, because it's not that steep of a gradient. Anywhere else where you're just fighting against the hill, but you can see here there's almost natural terraces in the landscape. The last thing I want to do is come in with tree controller and just replace a couple of these trees that are in the asset itself. So using the change tree tool, and then we use the whole building or network. Actually no, I think we could just use the single tree. Let's select the palm tree, and I think we can come through here and select a few of the trees and make this look a little bit more tropical. And I'll leave the shrubs at the back. I think they're quite nice. That can be replaced. And I think that's it. There is such an ugly fountain. I don't know why this exists in the game. It's like this sad, broken tree. I wonder, can we delete that? Let's go to sub-elements. No, it's a part of the asset. Yeah, how about a greenhouse instead? I like the bricks as well. They kind of match up with the existing asset. It doesn't need to be seen up close, does it? but from afar, I know it's covered up. And that wraps up today's episode. It was a shorter one, but tackling the death care issue was long overdue, especially with the new mechanics making it more challenging. We've reassigned services and added a new crematorium. This episode was actually split into two. I wanted to give the next build its own spotlight, rather than trying to squeeze it in here. It's something I'm really proud of and I think you'll enjoy. What do you think of how death care works now? Is it adding a welcome challenge or just another headache? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time in Sunny Isle.